Steve, Mark, Betty, and Valerie are exploring plants in a new area and trying to find something with internal fluid that'll work as lubricant in part of the ship. So far, all they've found is this guy.
Trapper. We need him like the measles.
It's not hard to guess what he's trapping either. Careful, Valerie. You already tried exploring one of those, remember? That's no bird. That's a person trying to imitate a bird's call, and it's too quiet to be a giant.
You girls stay here and watch yourselves. Take a look ahead. Come on.
Steve!
I had a feeling that was a bad idea.
Hold it right there.
They were doing what you told them. That was unnecessary. But our boy with the gun is Nick, and he's the leader of his own little band of lost boys. A fourth one has captured Betty and Valerie and brought them to Nick.
Stop it! What are you doing?
Just playing it smart, chick.
You're not playing. Who are you?
Drop the pose, sister. You know who we are. We know you were sent out here by the giants to bring us in.
A, how do you know this? And two, why would they go about it like this, especially since there's an actual giant right there setting out traps? But we're going to learn real quick that Nick isn't too big on thinking.
Tell me something, Captain. How much did those giants pay you for bringing us in? How much did they pay you for bringing in Pete and Robbie, for instance?
How much what? They don't even know what these giants use for money, and if they did, what good would it do them?
We're not with the giants. Can't you get that through your thick head?
Ooh, big man, scares women and beats up men who are tied up and helpless. I bet back on Earth he drives a huge pickup with a Confederate flag in the back. Psychology calls it compensation.
I asked you a question.
You got the answer. Until a few minutes ago, we didn't know you existed.
I didn't know we existed. They had no idea we were the last 4 remaining survivors of the All-American Youth Flight.
Kindly explain why they would know. But he's your basic teenager. Doesn't everybody know the world revolves around me?
All-American Youth Flight? I've never heard of it.
Us neither, chick. Till we got picked for it.
Picked by whom? Who sponsored this thing? And what's supposed to be the point?
Big deal! Underprivileged teenagers get free. A 1-month trip around the world. It's lasted 2 years so far.
Well, they promised you 1 month and gave you 2 years. You can't say they didn't give you your money's worth.
4. 4 left out of 28.
What happened to the others?
As if you didn't know.
Humor us. Pretend we have no clue what you're babbling about. But he has proof they're with the giants.
You were wearing this when we caught up with you, right? Right? Well, where's the other one? Pete and Robbie each had one exactly like it.
Oh, look, that walkie-talkie is standard equipment on the airline I work for.
No kidding. The exact same brand Pete and Robbie had.
Yes, you can buy that brand at any surplus store back home.
That's his evidence. Kid, turn it on and put out a call and see if Pete or Robbie answers. I know he's had it rough, but this kid has had it a lot rougher than he had to because he's stupid. He's the leader because he's the one who throws his weight around the most. And we'll learn that one of the survivors is his little brother. Thing is, none of them has any more sense than Nick does, so it doesn't matter who's in charge, they're still a walking clusterfuck.
You got a groovy beat there, Joey. Dance with me?
Nobody can figure out what Valerie is doing, least of all Nick.
Come on, swing loose and get with the beat. Oh, you really work hard at being tough, don't you?
You don't have to work hard at your job, do you, sweetheart?
She gets a good message out before he catches on and pushes her away.
That's right, Nick. Slap her around. You're not man enough to try it with me.
Tie him up.
That's blow number 2 to his ego, number 1 being when Valerie said he plays at being tough.
All right, Dolph, you know where to take.
I know where. Move.
If I give you a signal, you know what to do.
Yeah, he's a tough guy, all right. He'll take Steve on as long as Steve knows he has hostages who will be killed unless Nick wins. And we'll learn that he put Dolph in charge of them because Dolph has a nasty streak a light year long and would love to turn himself and his knife loose on the women.
Let's take a look.
Let me straighten you out. The Giants weren't tuned in on that radio. If anybody was receiving, it was my co-pilot.
Anything you say.
If the Giants were on the other end of that, why aren't they here now? Nick seems fairly incapable of thinking in such abstract terms. They're off to look for, I'm not sure what. You'd think the Giants on the other end of that message wouldn't be that hard to find, and in fact going to look for them seems like a less than great idea. But off they go, and here comes Dan. Dan threw a rock over there to get the boys going, but he knew it wouldn't keep them away for long.
Keep your eyes open, Joe.
Put that gun in the air.
Tonight. If you have any ideas about whistling that signal, don't. Now take us to the girls.
So instead, he did that.
Come on, let's go.
They never learn. If you're covering someone with a gun, never stand close enough for them to grab it. Because if they have any sense at all, and apparently Nick has about 14 brain cells worth, they will grab it. Like that. Our heroes win, but not before Nick's little brother Joey gets caught in the trap.
How do you get it open?
I don't know, let me try.
It's a locking spring action.
Hurry up, Nick. Get me out of here. Push against it. Pull up.
Now hurry. Oh, please.
It won't occur to Nick that Mark, Dan, and Steve all stopped fighting to try and rescue his brother, and if they were working with the Giants, why would they do that? Before anybody can ponder that or get Joey out, the trapper returns to collect his prize. Nick says that trapper has friends who come here every day at 4 to collect whatever he's caught. You have until then to get Joey out if you ever want to see the girls alive. Nick is a fool. He still thinks they're working with the Giants even though they just risked themselves to get Joey out. This is what happens when you let a bully take the reins of power. All he's interested in is throwing his weight around. He doesn't care about anybody else. It's all about him and the awesome power he wields. Never mind that he has no blinking clue what to do with it to use it effectively. He's got it and he's the big shot and that's what counts. We can forgive Joey for not questioning him. He's the little brother who's always grown up in Nick's shadow. Whether directly or instinctively, he's gotten the message that Nick is the one who counts and Joey is the hanger-on. The other two are just marshmallows. Most likely they're afraid of Nick's gun. If he didn't have that, they'd slink into a corner and beg him not to yell at them. That's how it goes with bullies and the people who worship them. No bully is worth your adoration. None. And the thing is, when life doesn't turn out exactly as they want it to, they make sure it's always someone else's fault, start throwing their weight around like Nick is doing, trying to use threats and intimidation rather than discuss something mutually beneficial. Maybe someday he'll learn that if you work something out with other people so they want to help you, their help tends to be much more effective.
You got till 4.
You better start tailing that giant.
Oh, why should we? We heard your terms, now you listen to ours. Free those girls right now and we'll do our best to help your brother. Otherwise he can rot in that trap.
No, you got it all wrong, hotshot. All I got to do is whistle. And Dolph, he wants me to whistle.
Mark, you're an engineer, so I assume you know the physics of whistling. I assume you also can suss out that if you punch him in the mouth and bust up his lips and teeth, he can't whistle. Problem solved. But Mark's an electronic engineer, not a punchatologist.
These ropes are killing us. Oh, come on, take a look. You can see for yourself.
It's pretty tight. I tie real good.
They're cutting us.
Well, that's the way it is with ropes.
You're a real sweetheart.
Well, this is no hotel. We don't like the service.
Never mind, Mark. I have a feeling in a few moments he can whistle all he wants.
You know, you hadn't ought to hit me like that. The juvenile judge, when I was 12, laid the law down. He said no one should ever raise their hand of violence to dogs because it makes him feel insecure, causes him to hit back and hurt people.
Yeah, the trick in that situation is to do what Valerie did, hit you hard enough that you're not in any shape to hit back. And even without me hollering at them, they have the presence of mind to tie him up and gag him.
Poor delinquent. He's gonna feel real insecure when he wakes up.
Oh my word, they pantsed him. No, I doubt either of them wants to see what he'll be like when he wakes up. They join the others. Our trapper is sitting under a tree, smoking a pipe and drinking coffee and waiting for his friends to pick him up. Has he got something to show them?
They're working for the giant, then why ain't they up there talking to him?
Because they know we're out here watching them.
He has all the answers. His answers are wrong, but he's got all of them. They watch the women join the crew. Now they really can't figure this out. Those guys are still hanging around, even though they don't have threats to keep them here. Nick can't figure it out.
Hey, the guys are staying, but the chicks are splitting. What's happening?
Probably another setup. Probably want us to follow the chicks so the guys can make contact with the giants.
It's amazing. You are 100% wrong.
Hopper suggests he follow the women while Nick stays here to keep an eye on the guys and the giant.
Hey, Nick.
I know! Chick sprung the trap to get the giant to move out.
He got one right. I suppose the law of averages catches up with all of us sooner or later.
He wasn't even there. How do you know?
Go back to camp and get me some rope.
All this time, Barry and Fitzhugh have been cooling their heels back where they were when Dan got the radio call.
You're not going to eat that, are you, sir?
I most certainly am. I'm both dehydrated and starving.
But it hasn't been tested. You know the rules, sir.
Surely that doesn't apply to me.
Since we're trying to make Fitzhugh into a clone of Dr. Smith, we may as well go all the way and just give him some of Smith's lines.
Allay your fears, young friend. Reason dictates that nature would have never created such a delectable-looking morsel without intending it to be eaten.
Uh-huh. Ever heard of a nudibranch? Ever heard of what happens when another sea creature tries to eat one?
Mmm.
You do know what happens when another sea creature tries to eat a nudibranch. Nudibranchs are basically snails without shells, and they come in as many colors, shapes, and sizes as you can imagine, plus a few more. They tend to be colorful, sometimes to the point of being gaudy. Now, surface logic might dictate that if you're a slow-moving creature with no protective shell and you stand out like a neon sign, predators are going to be tucking in their napkins and picking up their knife and fork. Surface logic, that is. Under the water, it tends to be just the opposite. Bright colors mean stay away. Biting or swallowing this thing will kill you. Go find yourself a nice drab fish. They're usually safe. Some nudibranchs have stingers similar to jellyfish, and undersea predators don't like that either. But at least if that's all they encounter, they come away in better shape than Fitzhugh.
It's Barry.
What's wrong? Where's Fitzhugh?
He's either dead or something. What happened?
The giant wedged that rock against the door of the cave, and even with Nick's rope, they haven't been able to budge it. This whole episode, I've been wondering why they don't just use their hatchet to cut through one of the screens. It's not like they haven't done it before. Barry explains about Fitzhugh and describes the fruit.
And there's nothing to worry about. He's just knocked out for a while. I know those plums. You take one bite and you're just knocked out for a while.
Yeah, maybe. Where'd you leave?
Hey! You're forgetting my brother. We got one chance to get him out, and that's now.
We'll free him, but there's a man lying out there helpless.
Oh, looks like I gave out with the Declaration of Independence too soon, doesn't it?
Come on, there's nothing to do with it.
Go ahead, split.
We'll be back just as soon as we get Fitzhugh to safety.
Split!
Fitzhugh is going to be out for a while, and all they can do is cover him up.
Okay. Now move.
And in one of the most phenomenal lapses of memory ever recorded in two worlds, they all forgot that he has both an upper half and a lower half with legs and stuff that the giant can see. Soon enough, Fitzhugh is captured too. By the time the giant gets back to his trap, the others have made another failed attempt to get Joey out. While the gang scatters, Nick can't bring himself to. I can't think of any more superlatives to toss at the special effects of this show. We've watched that hand take a tiny radio, hand something to one of the crew, and now we've actually watched it pick someone up. Yes, I understand about the cutaway. Don't be going all Sir Nitpick on me. Remember what I said about Nick and the law of averages?
I'm gonna get you! You got me in here! I'm gonna get you, Captain! I'm gonna break every bone in your body!
Yeah, the law of averages decided its work here was done and went home. Nick is back to his usual wrong self. Now the giant has 3 of them, but Steve has an idea.
Perry, those plums that Fitzhugh ate, do you know where they are?
Yes, sir.
Those plums knocked out Fitzhugh. Why wouldn't they work the same way on the giants?
They probably would, if you could get him to eat some.
Or drink the juice from them.
And what if he objects?
He won't.
I find it impossible to believe that Mark hasn't caught Steve's plan. Meanwhile, Hopper went and got Dolph. They don't know that according to Nick, Steve is the bad guy again, so they'll go with the group to collect a bunch of those plum-type things and start squeezing the juice. Once they have enough juice, it's time for Operation Plum Coffee. Distraction stage 1 complete.
Let's take our positions.
By the way, from this point on, for Steve, it'll be an inside job.
Watch out, Captain. Get him. Watch out.
Get him! Get him!
Steve is done talking to Nick, but Nick doesn't grasp why yet. Distraction stage 2 complete. This fight will go on a long time, and it'll have the giant's complete attention the whole time.
Okay, tie the rope on the bucket.
Which is why he won't notice the others doing that to his coffee pot. Dan levers the stopper open and pulls it to one side, pours the juice in, and puts the stopper back. A quick hop down, and they're back in the bushes. And no, I'm not going to do some lame joke about Dan being high on pot. Fitzhugh has been watching Dan at the coffee pot and reports that whatever they were doing, they're done and gone.
Good fight, Nick. Good fight. At least the audience liked it.
Nick only just realized that Steve could have put him to the mat anytime he felt like it. He was prolonging the fight to keep the giant occupied. I wonder what that does for his insecurities. In any case, the show's over, so the giant will sit down and resume his waiting. Don't be heartless, you guys. At least get him a pillow. With everybody finally working together, the captives are free, the giant is enjoying his little nap, and maybe, just maybe, Nick has replaced that stick in his goozix with a slightly smaller one.
Maybe a long time before we get our ship ready to return to Earth. But you're welcome to join up.
A new investor just dropped $500 million into the show, so we can even afford to hire you.
Thank you. But I have to keep looking for Pete and Robbie. You see, I know their parents real well, and if I ever went back home, I wouldn't want them to think that I didn't try to find their kids.
Say that again? The new investor pulled out. Suggestion? Go find that radio and give it to him. You can keep in touch with each other, and if he does locate his friends, he can call for help to rescue them. We can at least afford a couple more guest shots, yes? Hello? Hello? Hey, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please click the thumbs up. It really does help the channel. If you're not subscribed yet, the button looks something like this. So click it and join our little family. There's a bell there that may or may not actually work to give you notifications when we post something, but it can't hurt to click it just in case. You can also join our Patreon for as little as $2 a month and help me keep expanding and improving the channel. The link is in the description, along with links to a lot of other fun stuff I do. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. That's his evidence. Kid, turn it on and pull out good grief. One word at a time, mouth. This catches up with all of us eventually. Sooner or later. Come on. Good grief. Use your words, dude.